Emma had been married to David for 15 years. When they first met, David had nothing but big dreams. He worked long hours, chasing promotions and opportunities, while Emma worked 2 jobs to keep their lives afloat. She believed in him when nobody else did. Every late-night project, every failed business idea, every setback, Emma stood by his side. Eventually, David got the success he had always wanted. He became a senior executive at a fast-growing company. They bought a beautiful house, drove expensive cars, and finally enjoyed the lifestyle they had dreamed about for years. Emma thought they had made it. Then, one evening, David came home with a strange look on his face. He sat across from her at the dinner table and said something she never expected to hear. "I need space." At first, Emma thought he was stressed from work, but over the next few weeks, he became distant. He stopped answering her calls. He worked late almost every night. And then the truth came out. David was having an affair with a 22-year-old intern from his office. Emma felt like the ground had disappeared beneath her feet. 15 years of marriage meant nothing to him. A month later, divorce papers arrived. David didn't even try to hide his feelings. "You're holding me back," he told her. "I want a different life." The divorce was finalized within months. Emma watched the man she had supported for half her life walk away as if she were nothing. She cried herself to sleep for weeks. She questioned everything: her worth, her future, her identity. Then, one morning, something unexpected happened. The files contained confidential information related to David's company. There were reports, internal communications, and documents that suggested certain executives had been making questionable decisions. Emma stared at the screen for hours. Part of her wanted immediate revenge. Part of her wanted to expose everything. But another voice inside her told her something different. Instead of focusing on David, she decided to focus on herself. For the first time in years, Emma invested her energy into her own future. She enrolled in online business courses. She learned marketing, leadership, and consulting. She spent countless nights studying while working part-time jobs to support herself. The journey wasn't easy. There were moments when she wanted to quit, moments when loneliness felt unbearable. But she kept going. 1 year later, Emma launched a small consulting business. At first, she had only a few clients. Then word started spreading. Her strategies worked. Businesses grew. Clients recommended her services. The company expanded faster than anyone expected. Within 3 years, Emma had built a respected brand in her industry. Meanwhile, David's life wasn't going as planned. The company that once seemed unstoppable began facing serious challenges. Internal investigations started. Major clients left. Revenue dropped. Executives were placed under scrutiny. One evening, David was sitting in his apartment when he saw Emma appear on television during a business interview. He nearly dropped his coffee. The woman he had abandoned was now being celebrated as an industry expert. The investigation eventually reached its conclusion. Several executives were removed from their positions. David's reputation suffered greatly. The young intern he had left Emma for was gone. His friends slowly disappeared. His career collapsed. Months turned into a year. Job applications were rejected one after another. The man who once believed he was untouchable found himself struggling to pay his bills. Then one day, he saw an executive opening that seemed perfect. The salary was excellent. The company was growing rapidly. Without hesitation, he submitted his application. A week later, he was invited for an interview. When he arrived at the company headquarters, he froze. The company belonged to Emma. His heart raced. Part of him wanted to leave immediately, but he needed the job. A few minutes later, he was escorted into a conference room. Emma walked in. She looked calm, professional, confident. Nothing like the broken woman he had left behind years earlier. For several seconds,